What's up guys, this is Massey. Welcome to another video. In this video I want to show you how to find out the derivative of different functions. I'm just going to cover only the polynomial functions in these examples. So the first one is f of x equals to 2 and we need to find out the derivative. The first derivative is shown by f prime x. So we need to find f prime x. So we need to know whenever we have f of x equals to a constant number, the derivative of f of x will be equal to 0. So the derivative of all constant number is 0. So it means that f prime x equals to 0. Next one, f of x is negative 3. Again, negative 3 is constant, so f prime x is 0. Next one, f of x is 1/2. Again, since it's constant, the derivative is going to be 0. Next one, f of x is is a constant number, so again, this one is going to be equal to 0. Now, let's have a general formula for polynomials. Whenever we have f of x equals to a times x to the power of n, f prime x will be a times n times x to the power of n minus 1. That's how we find it. So whenever f of x is a times x to the power of n, when you find a derivative, it's going to be a times n times x to the power of n minus 1. So here we have negative 2x, which will be negative 2 times x to the power of 1. So negative 2 times 1 is going to be just negative 2. X to the power of 1 minus 0. So it means that negative 2x to the power of 1 minus 0, which will be negative 2x to the power of 0. So x to the power of 0 is just 1. So the answer is going to be just negative 2. So negative 2x is going to be negative 2. Next one, f prime x, the constant number here, 3, is 0. And negative 2x, the derivative of negative 2x is going to be negative 2. This one, we have f of x equals to negative 2x plus 5. Again, the derivative of negative 2x is negative 2. The derivative of 5 is 0. Next one, f of x is 5x. The derivative of 5x is going to be just 5. Next one, we have 5x minus 1. The derivative of 5x is 5. The derivative of negative 1 is 0. Next one, f of x equals to 5x plus 13. So the derivative of 5x is 5. The derivative of 13 is 0 because it's a constant number. Next one, we have negative 2x squared. So f prime x is going to be negative 2 times 2. Remember, in the previous paper we had it ax to the power of n. The derivative will be a times n times x to the power of n minus 1. So it's going to be negative 2 times 2 x to the power of 2 minus 1. So it's going to be negative 4x. Now, next one, f prime x is going to be negative 4x. The derivative of 5 is 0. Next one, we have negative 4x plus 5, because the derivative of 5x is 5. Derivative of negative 3 is 0. Next one, the derivative of f of x is negative 4x. Derivative of 1 is 0. f of x is 2x to the power 4 plus x cubed minus x squared plus 4. The derivative will be 2 times 4, 16. It's going to be 8, sorry. X to the power of 3 plus the derivative of x cubed will be 3x squared. Derivative of negative x squared will be negative 2x. And the derivative of 4, because it's a constant number, is going to be 0. Next one. The derivative of x to the power of n will be n times x to the power of n minus 1. Next one, derivative of f of x when f of x is a times x to the power of n that will be a times n times x to the power of n minus 1. Next, f of x is 4 times x to the power of 8. F prime x will be 4 times 8 times x to the power of 7. So we have 32x to the power of 7. Next one, f prime will be 2 times 6, 12, x to the power of 5. Plus x to the power of negative 9 will be negative 9 times x to the power of negative 10, because it's going to be minus 9 minus 1 is going to be minus 10. Next one, we have x to the power of negative 2 will be negative 2 times x to the power of negative 2 minus 1, which is going to be negative 2x to the power of negative 3. Next one, f of x is 1 over x squared, which is equal to x to the power of negative 2. So f prime will be negative 2 times x to the power of negative 2 minus 1, which is going to be negative 2x to the power of negative 3. Next one is 3 over x squared, which is 3 times x to the power of negative 2. When you find the derivative, will be 3 times negative 2 times x to the power of negative 3 will be negative 6x to the power of negative 3, or I can say negative 6 over x cubed. And the last one is going to be 3x squared minus 3 plus 0, which is going to be the derivative of this function.